Sorry, I got you. Carry on. I braked at the very last minute to give you a chance to do something about the ambulance, but you weren't doing anything about the ambulance, so I had to brake for you there.
When can having priority mean that you're found partially or completely responsible for a collision? The answer is when the collision is avoidable or you purposely accelerate into the danger and it results in a collision. Stick around till later in the video for a fantastic real-world example of things going tits up for one of my policyholders years ago. Now, with an incident like this, it's always worth highlighting that right-of-way isn't a thing on UK roads. It's one of the very first things in the Highway Code where it explains that nobody has right-of-way over another. The rules of the Highway Code tell you when you should give way to others, but you should always give way to avoid a collision. Now, I'm not talking about a situation where there's a second or two between someone else's failure and impact. That will be classed as unavoidable in line with the average driving perception response time of 2 seconds. That's 1 second to acknowledge that something is happening and another second to implement avoidant action like hitting the brakes, and then you've got stopping time on top of that. What I'm talking about is when there's more than enough time to make an incident a non-event, or when somebody purposely accelerates into a hazard to teach another driver a lesson. First off, I want to make it clear that there is absolutely no shade on this learner driver at all, and actually there is no relevance to the learner driver in this video. It's just a really good video to illustrate how you could be found at fault for a collision even when you have priority. It was really obvious that the ambulance was not going to give way. They accelerated onto the roundabout long before the learner driver got close to them. Francis from Driving School TV let the mistake go as long as he could until he had to use the brakes on the dual controls. By the way, if you don't give Francis a follow, it's very well worthwhile doing so. So on to my example. I had a policyholder who sent in dashcam footage of him colliding with a car that failed to give way to him on a roundabout. When my policyholder seen them entering the roundabout and failing to give way to him, he accelerated hard towards them, the camera visibly lifting up under acceleration. With that footage, there was absolutely no chance that I was going to be able to secure 100% liability against the other driver, so I chanced a 50-50 offer and the other insurance company accepted that offer. My policyholder was very unhappy with this and funded his own case against the other driver. When it reached trial after seeing the video, the judge was unhappy that he'd brought the case in the first place in light of the liability decision that had already been made between the insurance companies. He was even unhappier at my policyholder's manner of driving and found completely in favour of the other driver. This meant that I had to pay the remaining 50% of the third party's claim to them after the case had concluded. So in conclusion, don't accelerate into danger, don't try and teach others a lesson, just let it go and avoid the complications of being involved in a collision. Lovely jubbly, sound as a pound.